For some reason, in that moment, that was when my eyes start twitching and shit, and I was like, "Unhand her,
I would
witch!"
have asked the court for a non-traditional, like, listen, we don't even need jail time.
Can we stone her?
And we beat this ass. Like, put a timer on. You could have a medical team nearby to rush her away. We could do it next to the hospital. All right. Normally I would say, hey, wonderful people, but it's just you.
Hey.
I fully decided. I was like, you know what? I'm just about to do this show. Like, let me just call my friends and have the FaceTime call I would have with them, but on recording. I was like, that's the only way this isn't going to feel like a chore.
Especially with today's topic.
Oh my God. Oh my God. You start, Kenny. You tell the people.
So, I was talking to Aaron earlier and I was like, oh, do you know the story that we are going to bestow upon you? And he said no. So I'm very excited. So today, we're talking about the documentary that just came out on Netflix, give or take a week ago, called Unknown Number, the high school catfish. It is a story of a girl who's like in 9th grade who is getting harassed by an anonymous stalker for upwards of 2 years. It resulted in her breaking up with her boyfriend. It resulted in her being afraid to go around town. She's from a little town in Michigan, and I knew it was some bullshit because I ain't never heard of Bill City, nothing. I was like, there are 12 people that live there, and I know all of them a mess. And so it's a very small town, and so they're asking people like, hey, do you think your kid sent it? Do you think your kid sent it? Trying to figure out like who would have the motivation to send these absolutely horrid text messages. And they show them throughout the documentary. It's like violent, vitriolic, sexual, very, very sexual. It seemed like they really wanted to be with her boyfriend. So they were thinking like, is it people that would be jealous of their relationship? But then they break up and the text messages continue. When he tries to get with a new girlfriend, it continues there too. And they end up breaking up because of it. Lo and behold, after 2 years of trying to figure out who done it, they finally think to ask the FBI cyber department to look into it, and come to find out the assailant was the girl's own mom, a woman named Kendra. It is not looking great for white women named Kendra for the last like 2 months. It has not been looking good. And after you have like retroactively all this information that she is the person who is causing all this damage to so many people around her, it really recolors the rest of the documentary. Mm-hmm. And it's some sinister shit. Like it's really some scary.
She's a sick bitch.
She's a sick
bitch who is she liked her daughter's little boyfriend. She liked that little boy.
So I was thinking of it in so many directions. I was like, okay, so there's the obvious kind of hyperfixation she seems to have, a sexual hyperfixation that she seems to have on this child. So there's this like, what's going on there? Outside of just being a pedophile, I'm pretty sure that's just what that is. It's like you want to be with this child. And then there's also this component of like wanting to be your daughter also. Yeah.
Wanting to be her.
Both maybe because of the relationship they have, but also just wanting to be your daughter. I think whether they were dating or not, that was a part of it, but it probably got worse because she seemed to have had some like sexual feelings towards this boy. Then there's this whole like, because she would pick on things that about her daughter, about her looks, about her being very thin. And it tended to be things that she either got bullied for or didn't like in herself. So she was using her daughter as a way to be abusive towards herself. Then there's this other part of me that's like, oh, I read the DSM-5 a little bit. I grazed it. Is there something Munchausen's about this where she's like, let me ruin your life and then like be here when you like, oh, I'm here for you and all the
I
oh.
genuinely think that she and them documentary people think like Munchausen's is the best light she could be, which says how bad you carrying on, is the best light she could be portrayed in. And I believe she wanted us to go with that. So that seems better, like more like it's about her daughter, but fuck all that. Okay?
No.
I don't buy it none at all. That woman, how I read it, and I feel, oh, I'm ready to die on this. I feel like Claire jealous of her daughter. Like her daughter turned 13,
Yeah.
jealous of the daughter. Like, you think your daughter is this thin little blonde girl that whatever gets this boyfriend that you think, because I think a part of it, the sickness, in the same way that she's jealous of the daughter, I think what made her want, it's so sick. But what made her want the daughter's little boyfriend is the fact that all these other little girls want him. That's why they're also being texted and all of this and being brought in. Like, that's what I think it was really, like, really, really about. It's the popularity of it, is all the being desired, the center of attention of it all. And I knew it was her ass when the minute the documentary started, and then the other little girls was like, the children themselves said our parents are obsessed with us, and it sounds like they talk about the kids as though they're like in it. I knew that, and I said, why would you feel the need to present me that? You know what I mean? I said, it's a weird bitch. I said, look, and the minute they only let her talk a couple of times, and then we didn't see her,
yeah.
I said, well, and I was like, in my head, I was like, no, though, because she was talking earlier like it was, but no, it's her.
Because you would think like if she is the bad guy, clearly she wouldn't participate in the documentary, right? She wouldn't be interviewed for so I'm working on, ever since your last video, I'm working on my lookism, okay? I'm working in.
But you can assess what's happening there. You know what's happening here, Kenny.
So, well, I'm trying to be, because I ain't gonna lie and say that the rational side came out first. My knee-jerk side was, she funny looking. Some tells me that she not cool with her daughter looking like her, but not being funny looking. And right. I think there's something like, because I've always found that when people talk about children, the thing that always freaks me out the most about kids, if you think too much about it, it's like, wow, they look like you. That's weird, ain't it?
Yeah, that's
so
weird,
it's like, imagine all these thoughts that you might have about yourself, and now it's like externalized into this little autonomous being, right? Yeah. So like, imagine you have all these hangups, or you've always had these hangups about your own looks, and now you have a daughter who looks enough like you that you're like, this is my daughter, but she is like conventionally
capital
pretty.
Beautiful with a capital, you know, capital letter. Structurally beautiful in this world. It says white, skinny, blonde girls are pretty.
Right. Yeah. And so like she has a boyfriend, and she has, at least, you know, very early, she doesn't seem to be wanting for the attention of boys, right?
Yeah. Mind you, this lady have a husband who look better than her.
Well, that's why the kid look like that.
Man,
and so sorry,
saint. Kenny, he's a saint.
Sorry.
I'm
working on it. No, he is, because like I felt, of course, very bad for the child, but like secondarily, like watching,
he married her, had a child with her. Listen, no, forget what she do to the kid. We'll get to that second. She fucked the finances up. She stole. I want you to know there was something so crazy and egregious to me. Like, I looked at you, like I was like, and so like, you know, crazy that is just to tell your spouse you doing one thing and you spend all the money's Kenny, call me crazy. Like, I don't know.
No,
you know,
you're not.
Pay bills. I'd have killed that bitch in that house over them fucking bills.
I would have hurt more than her feelings. And
I'm
so like
you,
there's
I didn't know. You done cost me the house. I've lost my house.
They said that they had to move like 4 times in 2 years.
Yes, I'm losing my home. I'm still working. My child has been being harassed, which is causing nothing but constant stress, amount of stress in the marriage, all these different things. And I find out when they call that man to that house to tell him outside that was his wife, and he walked in, hand to God, that's the only time in my life I've been impressed by a man not putting hands on a woman. Like, I swear to God, I was like, yo, this a respectable man, because I would have launched her, like, I'd have sent her to the moon. Like, I'm telling you. What?
Even honing in particularly on that, my eyes are watering. I can tell I'm annoyed, because I could feel like the like, Because there's something I know I have triggers with messing up money. That's my, everybody has their thing. That's one of my things is y'all fucking up the money. Because this ain't about just money. People are like, oh, no. I'm thinking about money as security. This is a roof over your daughter's head.
Yes.
This is about food on the table, a roof over her head. She already going through this shit, and we can't figure out who bothering her. Come to find out, not only do we know the person that's bothering her, and we already had all these financial shit, it was you, bitch. You fucked up the finances.
Said the stress of this had caused, he had already attributed the loss of the home, their marriage going to put to her. So the idea that she was sitting up there actively manufacturing the conditions that would ruin her husband and her child's life. And it's so much, let me just say this. The amount of white privilege in this motherfucking documentary, in this situation, it's insane. Let me start from the beginning on the white privilege. As somebody who's been, is a criminal defense attorney, has been a public defender, but also has been stalked. Like I had a stalker who stalked me for more than 10 years, like would key carts into my car, call every number, call me from a million numbers across, and the police are like, do you know what it is? Well, no. And they're like, well, let us know when you know. And I'm like, you can't look into that or whatever. They're like, no, this ain't a movie. Like, we don't have no way to trace that. Like, I know the police. The only reason why, let's just think about this in terms of what the police investigate, the only reason why this was even treated like a national emergency, that this was happening, was because of who it was happening to in the first place. Like, that would have been, the fact alone, when we started the documentary, I was like, I'm watching the documentary because the little girl got harassed in school because some people were texting her harassed. I'm like, this standard every day. I'm like, okay, so that was the first thing. Second, I want to note that in the police, this isn't even a scenario, by the way. Like, because of the white privilege at play, this isn't one of the scenarios where the police are being incompetent and everybody's being incompetent. These looking into it, doing their fucking best, but they had a mole and they know it. But what I do find funny, and it says a lot about the state of like what policing is and what police know policing is, because the main people in that documentary critiquing the police as like traumatizing their daughter with this whole investigation and also with being incompetent and not following up on certain leads was the police, was the bully girl's parents. Like the police, they were like,
father is a police officer.
They would have worked like, no fucking way. We know this, da, 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 and I was like, proving my point. The people who know most was like, get the fuck from around my child. You know what I mean? Like, immediately, that's what.
I was like, I know there ain't shit things y'all do. Y'all not doing it to my child. The person I feel
worst for in the entire documentary, fuck everybody, the person I feel worst for is that little girl in the class who they were, those little, let me tell you something. All those little girls, all them little girls that was in Lauren, all them little girls that was in like, what's his name? Cameron's little clique or whatever. First of all,
Owen's little
Owen was keeping it cute. Owen got the hose. Let's acknowledge what was going on. All like let's peep what's happening. Like I see you trying to Owen got the hose. Okay, let's see. And all them little girls, you could see it on them that they're bullying bitches. Like you could hear it that they call. You could see y'all are a mean clique. So the nerve y'all to sit up here as a mean clique the whole time. I know y'all are mean. You bitches have described each other as mean. Not only can I see it, but y'all are telling me, yeah, that's my best friend. She's also, Owen said, she is by no means a good person. That's how he's describing his best friends. And then you bitches want me to believe you didn't bully this angel little girl who appears like, I don't remember her name, but the one who was just Owen's cousin, and then they drag her in there accusing her.
How you bullying his cousin? That's crazy, dog.
It's the fact that what I think is funny. Let me tell you something. Here's what I find hilarious: that at no point did Lauren, like, no one see as all this is happening, Kendra texting ferociously. That's one. Two, she actively, like, she was
because she wasn't working. She wasn't working. Bored. Everybody else at work. So she at home, ain't got shit to do.
To be at work,
abusing fucking children while everybody else at work or at school. Like bored, she ain't have fucking else to do.
Another part of this we have to talk about is low town boredom, because that bitch was bored, and that's a fundamental part. She was bored to death, because the way her deciding to frame the police's daughter like the one little girl just for fun, to me is just doing shit for the plot.
Well, because all of this to me is doing it for the plot. I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm better than the average person. The bitch gets bored. Guess what I do? I watch mess online. I watch this documentary. But what I'm not going to do is fucking abuse my child. Bitch, learn to crochet. Learn
Then
to do.
here's how I know she wanted Owen bad. She wanted, like, beyond the fact that she was sending him a million explicit sexual text messages and telling her daughter to kill her fucking self so that she could be with him, that he really want her. But it's not, and it's not even just that Owen said that after me and Lauren broke up, this woman was still showing up to my games with posters. Can we just pause right here? Like, why no one asked Lauren about that? Because the question I wanted to hear was, Lauren, because you had to have heard. I know said Lauren's mother is at these fucking games with the Suns. So, like, Lauren, what did you think about your mommy going to your ex-boyfriend who does not fuck with you? Can we also just, by the way, when the documentary started,
They do not talk.
The idea of my teenage relationship that's already over. It's old news now. Like, we're already not good. We don't talk to each other. Is memorialized in this documentary. Like this.
Because my mom wanted to fuck my 16-year-old boyfriend, probably younger at certain parts.
He was 14. She turned her daughter into a leper. The fact that the documentary starts with the daughter's like a cool little popular girl with friends, and by the end it's like, who the fuck would talk to Lauren? She turned Lauren into a weirdo. There's no way she's not gonna be.
That's the thing that's so fascinating about Kendra after it comes out that it's her, is that much like any other, I'm trying to not use the word narcissist, but it's something.
I remember the worst part, beyond that bitch showing up to the games when I knew she wanted him for real, was the fact that she was trying to break up his new when she texted the new girlfriend in a different town's mother. That's when I knew.
So do you know how much work do you have to do? You got to find out that he's dating a new person. You have to find out who that new person is. You got to find their mother's contact and say what?
Bitch, that's what she was texting.
What are you saying? And then they get broken up. But I guess the thing, like, once it comes out that it is Kendra, like, the way that always, like, strikes me is the way that these people tend to talk about their own actions. It's always so fascinating to me because there is a detachment. It's like, I was a different person when I was doing that. And, everybody makes mistakes.
Because they gave it to her. But you know what's funny? They gave her those excuses, like, on the spot. That was the white privilege of it all. If she were, let me explain something new. If she don't even gotta be black. She could have been spicy white. She could have been any kind of anything else, okay? She would have been arrested the moment they learned they caught her number. They didn't need the fact that it's like, we gotta get her. Like, she gotta be a participant. And that's how it is. That's the racism in the United States criminal system. It's always as though, like, white people are truly treated as though as innocent until proven guilty, and nobody else is. Like, where it'll be like, oh, we talked to them about it and they said no, so, like, we don't have enough to arrest and all this stuff. It's not true. That's not true. You have the things. You didn't need to have no conversation with her. The fact that he went there, the police officer, when he got there to ask her about it, there's no part of me, if I was Lauren, I would not have realized that they were trying to tell me my mommy did it. There was no part of this bitch should have been arrested. And listen, I'm just saying based on what the shit is, not even as an abolitionist.
Like, she didn't even leave until Sean was telling her to get the fuck out of the house.
And also, she should not be able to, if she was anybody else, if she were a black mother, if she was a black mother and she would be held responsible, and it wasn't her who did it. It was a friend or a boyfriend. They would hold her responsible. CBS, like, oh, you're an unfit mother. You exposed your daughter to this. She would not have access to those children. The fact alone that she can still speak to Lauren, right? Lauren being here doing all this is a reflection of how the system gives this kind of fucking, like, benefit of the doubt to her. And so, yeah, it doesn't even surprise me at all that she came up with the excuse, because the police officer basically was crafting excuses for her when he told Lauren, like, oh, your mom's been going through things. She lost her job. Like, it was like, it didn't even sound like, there's no way I would think the police and the FBI have been looking for this person who did this shit to me for 2 years, and they find out it's my mother, and they just in here like.
I'm thinking also, like, it's the whiteness, but it's also the small townsness of it too.
Yes.
And I find small towns scary.
Yes.
I don't know if that's just me, but whenever somebody starts off some shit like, it's so small, everybody knows everybody. And I'm like, I don't like that. I don't need y'all to know me. I'm all right.
It means wickedness is afoot.
It's like y'all be talking shit and people hear it. That's a different thing. But I'm sitting here like, she's going to the police office, I'm looking for the person that's harassing my child. So she's going face to face. They were on a first name basis by this fucking police officer that came in. They were like, oh, where's Kendra? They know who she is. They were like, oh, yeah, we came up here a bunch of times. And that's why that was another part of it. They have like, well, we know this lady. I know the stuff she's going through, but it, it shouldn't matter. You just learned pretty concrete evidence that she is systematically abusing her child, and you don't arrest her. She has to be kicked out by her husband. And he said, don't leave her here, because if you leave her here, I'm gonna
You're
fuck her
right.
up.
The father, he said, shouldn't she be arrested or something? He said it outside, like, what the fuck is going on here? I'd be
And
confused.
she had phones she was hiding and shit at first. He was like, she got more phones than that. They didn't even look really for it. They just took her word for it. Like, this is the one phone. And like, again, there is a certain element of like giving her the soft answer to things. She's like, oh, I didn't work through my trauma. Oh, I didn't do this. Oh, I didn't do that.
When
And
that
it's
bitch
like,
mentioned all of that, I almost jumped through the screen. Like, I'll choke you out myself. Like,
because bitch, she's like, yeah, and what was it like? She said she was assaulted at 17, so the closer her daughter got to 17, the more
that's what I'm
she
saying.
wanted to protect her. She's a fucking liar. She's a fucking
lying
liar.
fuck ass bitch. Like, she really is. She's a dirty, lying, stinking bitch. And let me say this: I'm not even against them. Like, I see people like, oh, she shouldn't have been included. Da da da. I don't think that. Like, the defense attorney and me, I don't like that true crime and all these different things exist as a genre, and don't think that the other side should be incorporated or should not be able to speak for themselves, whatever. I'm not against that. But let's point out some bullshit, okay? Let's get to asking some real fucking questions. What the fuck is up? Like, you're not just gonna let this bitch feed me this talk of shit and no one's gonna fucking say anything? What the fuck do you mean? I was worried about my daughter. You worried about your daughter? So you said, well, I had trauma from my insecurities and being sexually assaulted. So I told my daughter, like, when she was getting near that age, I was worried that she might get sexually assaulted. So instead, I would have preferred if she would have just killed herself, so we could have just avoided all that. How could she be assaulted if she just...
Yeah. And also she's killed because of me. Like, I had a control over it. So, you know, if she's gonna get abused, I'd rather it happen in the house versus like, what the fuck are you talking about?
What I will say, what I feel validated by is, because I don't know if anybody else noticed, but this is literally the entire thing was just the plot to Pretty Little Liars. Like, up until we knew with her, and all time in Pretty Little Liars, I'm like, why don't these bitches go to their parents? Like, that's all I think in Pretty Little Liars. Like, I don't give a fuck what A said. Go talk to your parents. Like, and now I know why. Because their parents could be A. Their parents could be A.
Like, I couldn't, and I don't want to know what this is like, obviously, to be so bored that you in a bunch of kids' business. Like,
I just couldn't believe. Here's what bothers me. Mm-hmm. No one, at no point, did anybody say that upon learning it was Kendra, they put hands and feet on her. The fact that Owen's mom was that, like, y'all mean to tell me, if I don't expect little white podunk towns with little blue, that I saw had a Blue Lives Matter flag in the corner when they was fucking interviewing the people, I expect those towns to form a mob and run a bitch. You mean to tell me that she was doing this for 2 years to an entire network of children and their parents, and nobody put hands and feet on her? Do you know how bad she was supposed to get stomped out, Kenny?
Yeah.
Kenny, imagine for 2 years a bitch has been texting your child 60 times a day. You fucking piece of... And they're trying to start bullying the little girl. What was so messed up was when the one who I said is the true victim, Owen's cousin, when she started crying and when she got her first text or whatever, her first harassing text, like, why are you're a sick, evil bitch.
Like, the thing that I can't wrap my head around, like, there's also like so much to be said, like, towards the end when they're talking to Lauren and she's like, that's my mom, right? And I'm like, I feel like I get where she's coming from, but it's just so sad. Because it's like part of what I think she's feeding off of with the abuse is that kind of like, she's at that age where she's certainly not, odds are she's not going to, especially if she had no like outward behavior like this that she's super used to. She's like, you expect me to completely turn over my thought process about the person that raised me? Like, no, she's still struggling with the reality that your mama is a lying bitch and an abusive lying bitch. and I don't know what to tell you, honey, other than like, I wouldn't recommend it.
As somebody who loves my mother and doesn't talk bad about her on the internet per se, But we have a tumultuous relationship, and I love my mummy down. I love my mummy down, but I have always seen my mummy's villain shit. Like villain shit. Like I would not like. Let me tell you something. I swear to you, I swear to God, Lauren. Like I fully understand all the people trying to like shit on that poor little girl on the internet are ridiculous,
No,
being like, oh,
that's
she's been in
fucking
on it and
weird.
all that. That's nonsense. Like she's a child or
That was
something.
also what the cop and his wife at the end when they were like, yeah, they're gonna make it seem like Owen and Lauren were the victims. I was like, what else were they, bitch? Like, what do you
Lauren's
mean?
little ass was in on that or whatever. And you know what? Because she probably seems like a fucking weirdo to them now because her mother has turned her into a weirdo. If you notice in the documentary at one point, I shit you not, if you look at when the police come to her, when the police come and tell her that it's her mummy, she seems much older there than in the documentary talking to us in her.
Yeah.
She seems almost childlike. She's reversed. That woman has fucked that little girl up. Like she's made it so like she saw her daughter getting ready to be a normal popular girl and all da da da, and she turned her into somebody with a fucking lifetime worth of trauma. She's gonna be weird for the rest of her days. I say that to say, if that was my mummy, if Monique O'Lurin did that shit to me, I'd have put my fucking car through her store, and she know that. I'd put it through the store window. What the fuck, girl? What? Let me tell you something. I want you to know, I'd have beat my mummy ass when the cop told me. I'd have spit around with you fucking. I'd have give her a knuckle
and
sandwich.
That's the thing. That's the thing that's so wild about there's something so disturbing about the body cam because like once they tell that girl, like the person
she's like
that's
hugging on her.
She's hugging her and she's like all over her, like patting her hair, and it's like I wanted to beat her ass. For some reason, in that moment, that was when my eyes start twitching and shit, and I was like, "Unhand her,
I would have
witch!"
asked the court for a non-traditional. Like, listen, we don't even need jail time. We can do like this one even gonna be a prison sentence or whatever
Can
you
we
want to do with the victim one.
stone?
And we beat this bitch ass. Like, put a fucking timer on. You could have a medical team nearby to rush her away. We could do it next to the hospital. If you want, we could do it outside of the emergency room. But I need for 7 to 10 to get their licks in. I'm gonna fuck this bitch up. She needed her ass beat. Like, I'm telling you.
I can't think of another.
There's no other kind of justice that can
I
be
don't
done
believe.
here.
Listen, when they say stuff like violence is never the answer, I never agree with them.
Violence is often the answer.
I disagree. I think violence is often the thing to do.
I'm like, this woman, she is.
I think people that say violence is the answer just don't want to see them get their ass beat, but it's probably something.
I told you, I bet money. Let me tell you something. First of all, she shouldn't be able to own a cell phone anymore. She shouldn't be able to have a phone. Like, if the kind of petty conditions, it's so annoying to me to watch something because it's not even that I want. No, I really do hate this bitch and I do want the worst for her. But like in general, it's like you want the criminal system. It's not that I want the criminal system to be as punitive to these white people like them or whatever as possible. It's like you see how the criminal system, you see how you operate and you adapt and learn circumstance and the situation and all these different things when it comes to these white people. That's what you should be doing for the rest of everybody else. But it doesn't. They wouldn't give a rat's ass. If this were a black woman, a black mother, you think they'd give a fuck? I've watched Snapped episode after Snapped episode, and I've seen them talk about black women like a dog who come into financial debt. They wouldn't have all this like grace to whatever and the situation. Every part of it would be treated as what an evil fucking bitch she is. Because there's so many levels of evil to it. She wasn't just harassing her daughter. She clearly was out to destroy the lives of her husband and child. She's like, I need this bitch was playing with the fucking rent money. Do you understand what it is to be playing with the fucking rent money?
And possibly committed insurance fraud?
There were so many crimes. Like, if they had any interest in treating that lady the way the criminal system treats everybody else, there was so much fucking crime she did in that thing.
Because I also don't believe. Yeah, they gave her 19 months.
Yeah, are you fucking serious? 19 months. She spent 2 years harassing. Like, think about it. You know what's another point I wanted to make? I remember. You remember a few years ago when Carly Russell happened? Do you remember that black girl that everybody lost their mind on because she lied for like a weekend? Like, she was missing, and everybody, including black people, were fucking stoning her. Like, waste of police resources. They sentenced that girl up to a year. I'm pretty sure she got like a year or something crazy like that in prison. for lying about being missing for a weekend. She didn't harass nobody. She didn't this, and everybody's like, and black people included were insistent. Oh, she wasted resources. She lied. National attention. Okay. This lady was wasting police and FBI resources and school resources for more than 2 years. Did you hear anybody, even in how people are talking about this, I didn't hear anybody talk about the level of wasted resources and the fact that she should be, that why didn't walk on the fucking plank like they did Carly Russell? Are we fucking serious? You know what? 2+ years of...
I find it interesting because, like, I was trying to think back because it happened. She would have got found out in 2022-ish.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't think I've ever heard this story.
Exactly.
Considering I'm in Michigan, I feel like I maybe saw her mugshot and it kind of like that was it. But it wasn't by any means some like gigantic story that was really like again talking about the lack of resources or the loss of resources, I should say, the wasting of resources. Instead I don't know. I wonder to what degree.
Have you guys ever heard of a podcast called Small Town Murder?
No.
Because it is literally a podcast that specifically only deals in the murders of places that are small towns. And you've almost never heard of any of them. And there's some of the most gruesome and crazy stories I've ever heard.
Sorry.
Look at Kenny like,
it's like
I'm adding it
Kenny like, tell me, like, oh, you told the right one. Like,
well, because I need to be careful because true crime will ruin your whole fucking day if you.
Yeah.
Because
I don't listen to it as much as I used to when I first found
Yeah.
out about it like a number of years ago when it first got popular.
Because here's the
like,
thing.
then it has you looking over your shoulder all the time like someone's going to kill me.
Right. Like I was, my friend kind of makes fun of like people, because it tends to be women that engage in true crime stuff, generally speaking. And he was like, what is it, do you think, that brings women's attention to it? And I think it's multi-leveled, but like at least why I tend to is because I find like when we talk about like psychological thrillers and stuff like that are fictional, I'm like, I know there's somebody out there that's crazier than this and it's a real story. Like, I think y'all underestimate how scary real people are.
I think you hit the nail right on. But however that fucking expression go, I think that's exactly why like men don't like it as much, because I think for women's existence is scary. We know like, oh yeah, for sure. Like I don't see true crime. Like CJ never wants to like, oh, this is so sorry, so this is so that. Like I don't see true crime as that. I'd be entertained, like, because we know that this had happened.
Okay, it's interesting because
men also have distances. They do not think about this. When are men in danger?
I had a similar conversation with my boyfriend and a friend of mine, both men, who are like, I don't get, what is it about this that appeals to women? And I was trying to explain to them, I was like, I think it's multi-layered. I think part of it is because women are constantly taught to be afraid of men. So in some ways, or just afraid of being a victim of something. So in some ways it feels like I'm researching like how to be safe, even though that's not necessarily how that actually ends up. Also, it's like, yeah, this is like an experience that wouldn't be that strange to believe could happen to me or someone I care about.
Yeah.
And in a way, maybe to cope, women just don't see the crimes. I think there's a negative way to see that, and like they don't see it as real as much.
Yeah.
Or as much real as they think really dying is.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like the joke of like a guy is sitting there and a girl is watching a documentary. He's like, her head was cut off and her eyes were cut off, and he's like, ah, and I'm sitting there like, yeah, her eyes were cut off and her legs were cut off.
I think men are taught to view the world very differently than us. Like we walk around and think about it. We're taught like you can't. A woman walks at night and people act like you decided you wanted to die. Like you understand? Like people are like. You wanted to be
so
raped
you were
or killed.
trying to be kidnapped.
Yes, okay. Something is bad. Like we are taught to see dangers lurking at every corner, like because it is. You know what I mean? Statistically, it is for us, right? Like not because the crime rate is high, right wing fools. I just mean in terms of statistically, a woman is most likely to get clobbered by some man, right?
Yeah.
Men are not being taught that. Men, go run and take your shirt off.
I remember. So when I first started dating, it was right. Like, I am a late bloomer in a lot of ways, in that I didn't really know dudes that many. I didn't know that many dudes in general, and the few that I did know were gay. So their viewpoints on certain things are a little different in the fact that they're also dating other men, so they interact with men differently as well. So, like, I remember I was seeing this guy, one of the first guys I started seeing when I got out there, and I remember saying, like, he invited me to his house, like, very quickly. And I was like, what if I'm a serial killer? And he's like, I hope you're not. And I'm like, no, I'm not. But what I'm saying is that's just so interesting to me. I've never met a person. Oh, I don't know that many straight guys. It clicked in my head in that moment.
Have you ever met a man you thought is a killer? Like, might be a serial killer?
I want to say no, but yeah. The reason why I want to say no is because the sex was bomb. I don't know.
But I think he was a murderer.
The reason I thought he was a serial killer is he was really good at setting a stage. Like, he had a pageantry that felt very Patrick Bateman-esque.
So
it's like you like you scare me a little bit, but also I ain't die yet. So it's like, that's not, don't do that.
My best friend Nia has definitely dated several men we believe are murderers. Like a couple of like narrow escapes. Like, I'm telling you, one time, like, there's a guy that Nia's like, it feels like he's a murderer. It feels like he's a weirdo, whatever. And then, like, on their last date, Nia was like, he had a bag with her, like he had a bag with him or whatever. And she's like, I'm gonna look at that. And she said it was like rope and shit or whatever. And da-da-da. Nia was like I gotta fucking like a break out of this. I definitely think, I always think about that because, like, I in my 20s in New York City, me and my best friends have had extensive dating history. And I'm always like, statistically, one of these gotta be a killer.
At least one.
I think that, like, all the time.
Because I was thinking, like, the dude, I don't know if he was a serial killer or if he was just weird. I think he was just weird because, like, he had a weird we stopped talking because he felt like us going to the park was too intimate. And that's when I was like,
he'd be hiding bodies. He don't want to
be hiding out there. Because he wouldn't let me meet his dog either. I was like, is your dog gonna sniff out the bodies? And luckily, it ended soon after that. And
sniff out the body.
And if anything came of that, I also would see him on Hinge again, and we would both act like neither of us existed, and we were just like, all right, I still don't know. And then in one video, he was holding a baby. I was like, oh, maybe he wasn't. Whose baby is that? Maybe he wasn't a serial killer. He was just married
or something. You know what's funny? One of my friends said that to me the other day. Like, there's so many things that now that my single life and my dating or whatever has ended, like, I think about things now as people mention it to me. I'm like, was that like a whole frame of analysis I was missing? Because I thought about it. I was like, I've never been with a married man. And then I was like, statistically speaking, if niggas here doing this and the next thing, and like, I was telling the story the other day. I was telling CJ about how do something like some story like, oh, I was like, when you have like, oh yeah, you think you had a great date or whatever, but you don't hear from them because he didn't like you or whatever. And CJ was like, well, you was married. So I was like, I was like, I want you to know, in my entire time of dating in my 20s, never once of all my entire 20s in general just consists of ruminating unnecessarily on situations where that obviously doesn't like you. There's literally nothing to think about. There's no more nuance, nothing deeper than this. That fuck with you. But in the course of the many ruminations, it never once crossed my mind. Could this be a cheating lying ass?
I prefer to go that way because it's quicker to cut off the emotional rumination. Because like, there's a hit to the ego if he just didn't like your ass. I prefer.
That's me every time to the chest. He don't care about me. I twist off that every time.
I remember one time. Oh well, we don't need to hear my embarrassing stories, I guess.
No, we can't. I'm sure I have my own.
Like, because well, going back to, again, starting dating later, right? There was a part of me that felt like I was behind. Like, I just didn't know shit that other people that were 25 or 26 or whatever knew. Like, there's this one dude, I did not like him that much, but after the second date, he was like, yeah, I don't really feel anything. And my ass couldn't, I was like, damn, what'd I do? So I was like, oh, did I make, I was like, oh. I was like, did I do something? He was like, no, I just don't feel anything. And I'm like, that can't be it. He can't be, like, my heart. Like,
I would never, you'll never hear me
what do
ask
you
you a
mean?
follow-up question. Why? You don't like me to do this? No, baby, I never ask you to follow up.
No. Because for me, I thought that was growth because I was in therapy. So I was finding stuff out. And then I realized, no.
Hell no. I don't need no niggas to be telling me the subjective reason for why they don't like me and giving me a complex. Like, because I'm like, at the end of the day, right?
And right. So now I just assume they were married. And it makes it a lot easier. I was like, oh, okay, that's none of my business then. Like, that's you and your wife to worry about. Like,
listen.
Like, progressively, I think it's interesting because, like, yeah, so much of the way men date and the way women date kind of shows, like, the way that we see the world. Yeah. And I guess bringing back to Kendra, who like, if you, like, so much of dating and desirability is that you get male attention. And I wonder to what degree, I'd imagine they don't talk much about her, like, as a child.
I was about to say, somebody needs to tell me how Kendra's husband got stuck with her, how he met her, how that gone now.
I want to know that. I want to know, like, what her experience growing up was like. Did she put high school relationships on some, like, crazy pedestal or whatever? Because it seems like it. Like, dating at that young age, or did she, like, not get male attention in that way, and then she felt like this was an opportunity to, like, relive her childhood or something?
I genuinely think Kendra is just an advanced version of a lot of women. Like, I don't even think Kendra's like so. A lot of women, I don't know, a lot of women's first op is their mommy, like their mom. Yeah. Like, lots of women are walking around here having kids out of perceived obligation, and they are bitterly jealous of their children. They are all this,
especially the girls.
Yes, 1000%. I'm like, I have a friend, and the most mature thing she ever told me was like 10 years ago, and she was like, well, I'm not having kids. And I was like, why? What do you mean? Like that? She was like, because I think I would resent my daughter. She was like, I don't think. She's like, I know me. I have a feeling that she's like, I don't think I'm satisfied with my own life, how things went or whatever. I could see me having a daughter and being very jealous of my daughter. And I was like, that's the realest shit that bitch ever fucking said. Like, you know what I mean? And when she said, I was like, I know that bitch. She's a jealous girl and a jealous broad. Like, oh, you're right. And a lot of women are like that. I'd
rather you be honest and work on that instead of just, like, trying to force a child to sit through that process of you not handling whatever you're handling. Especially because I knew something was going on with Kendra because they barely showed her at all. Like, they showed Owen's mom, and occasionally they would show Lauren's dad. But they were not showing Kendra. They would just mention her, like, yeah, she would also come to things. And I'm like,
I was like, why is the boy's mom the main one trying to solve this when the main person being harassed is Lauren?
I don't know, man. Like, I think everybody should stop having kids for a bit until we figure out what the fuck's going on. I think everybody needs to pause for a second. Because, like, obviously, there's a lot of people having kids and they don't want the kids. And I'm going to need y'all to actually ask yourself, do I want to be a parent? I don't know. I feel like she would have ruined somebody's life, but it wouldn't have been her kids if she would have said, I don't think that I'm really in the space to, like, have a child. Because obviously I haven't dealt with certain things. I don't know. Maybe the feelings came up as she got older. But I don't know. I feel like she was probably terrible. I don't think that behavior just pops up out of nowhere is what I'm getting at.
They like talked. I know that she is awful because they had her friend in the documentary. Remember when her friend was like, oh, I was realizing this, like, Kendra or something. The friend was there talking at the end. If there's a documentary on your madness, your absolute evil and derangement, and your friend was like, I was like, Kendra, that doesn't make sense, or wasn't surprised or suspected. If her best friend suspected her of a thing like that, she's been terrible for quite some time. Yeah, like, I was like, because you would never think that. If somebody told me you did that, Kenny, like, I'd be like, no, she didn't.
That don't even sound right.
You must know a different person.
Actually, you just reminded me of something. So back in college, I had a similar thing, but it wasn't a similar thing in that it happened a long time, but somebody stole my phone and started sending crazy shit on my phone while I was doing something and then put my phone back. So it's a long
Did you
story. It
find
was
out
an
who
ex-friend
did?
of mine. I knew who it was because it was an ex-friend
Oh.
of mine. And I was doing a play and she took my phone out of my purse and then texted a mutual friend with it.
Oh, she's a psychopath.
It's a long story. I made a story time about it years and years ago. I've taken it down.
Now I get. Oh, you damn! You see me? You saw me reaching
I
for my phone to
can
go
send
look
you
at the
the
video.
it's unlisted. I can
Okay.
send you the link. But
Yeah, send me the link.
But
What's the
essentially
zodiac sign for research purposes?
Sagittarius.
Okay, good. I don't got none of them around me.
So like, and it was funny because the friend that she text, she was like, that ain't even sound like you. So I was like, what's happening there? I was like, because it wasn't me. Because essentially it was like me berating a friend for not supporting me. It was like, you never support me, you're never here for me, you're this, that, and the other, to this mutual friend. And then I was like, I don't even talk like that. at worst I'd be like, oh, I would have liked to see you so and so place. But ironically, what she didn't know is like right before that friend had called me and asked me what I was up to, and I was like, oh, I'm doing
she
this
knew
play.
you were doing the play.
Yeah, she knew I was doing a play, and I was like, I haven't really told anybody about it because they was gonna have free food, and I figured the fewer people that come, the more food I can get. But since you calling me, would you like to come to? I was in college. I was like, free food, hell yeah. I was like, but if you want to come, and she was like, oh no, I got to do something else. So that was the same friend that she ended up texting. And she was like, that didn't even make sense because didn't we just have a conversation about this? And I was like, yeah, it didn't make sense because it wasn't me. So like, but even. And I also wonder, was it an adult? Because when I was reading the text messages, I was like,
there was some very sexually graphic things that I don't think
she was saying creamy.
She was saying nasty ass things.
She was saying cream.
I was saying creamy, putting fingers in mouths, all kind of things those little youngsters didn't know nothing about.
And if they did, I don't know. Because I was sitting there thinking, like, it's one thing for, like, kids to be, like, coming into their sexuality, right? There's another thing about this that felt like an adult trying to be a teenager, if that makes sense.
What they think teenagers, like an adult who thinks, like, writing Euphoria. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
people still get mad at me because I brought that up years ago. I was like, I think a weirdo made this. I don't know. I just and they were like, no. I think he was just talking about his. There was a period in which I made fun of Sam Levinson. And when you looked him up, it was just my face talking shit about him. And I stand one of my favorite things that I've ever done. But like, I remember saying, I was like, this feels like a weirdo. I feel like a weirdo made this. And then when years later, people were like, this is kind of weird. I'm like, yeah, but y'all called me crazy. So I was like, it's giving weirdo up here.
No, it is a lot.
Yeah.
No, Euphoria was doing quite a bit. Quite a bit of a lot.
I think there's a lot to be said also about like certain people's obsession with youth in general. Like, again, I do feel like Kendra is like a very extreme like case of this, but there is something to be said about a lot of people's like hyperfixation on youth and what young people are doing. And it's very confusing to me. I think it also maybe is exacerbated by like social media. So it's like, oh, let me keep up with these 16-year-olds or whatever. And it's like, I don't give a fuck about Brienne and Jamie's breakup. I don't know these motherfuckers.
When they were like, oh, they like really interested, and I'm like, I cannot express to you how negative, like how little interest, like it's negative interest that I have in anything anyone younger than me is doing. Like not even just like teenage.
Like dog, I don't.
You could be 22 and I'm like, please get this away from me.
If you are under 25, I don't think of you as a fully fledged person, honestly.
That's the thing. I'm like, why would I be invested in all these like temporary thing? Like to me, everything about you is temporary now. Like
at like 21, 22. The closest I came is I got really interested in this one. There was a married couple that was real messy, but they were still younger. They were like 25.
What married couple?
And it was a girl named like Brene. Yeah.
I don't be on TikTok, but I am a YouTube watcher, bitch. And there's a random YouTuber that I like YouTube recommended to me, like, oh, messiest couple on the internet or whatever. Did Brene sleep with her friend's husband or something?
So check it. now that I got all this information that I don't need. I was like, because I deluded myself into saying like, well, I'm learning this because
I might write a video.
I ain't even no damn video on this.
That's how you get yourself to be able to get the shit off. Like, it's technically work if I really.
It's technically, I'm not messy. I'm just curious. But like, check it. So she had dated this dude named Tim. She dated him in high school. So they had a cute little high school relationship. They break up because allegedly he had sex with her twin sister. Check it. Years pass. They're adults now. She starts dating his cousin, and it's still up in the air whether or not they are biological cousins or just cousins, like friends, cousins, whatever. But they're obviously very close regardless. They start dating, and he's like, well, yeah, they dated when they were like 14. We're 25. I didn't think that was still like some people were like, why are you dating your cousin's ex? And it's like, well, we were 12. It's like we were 12, so I didn't really think about it. So they get married, and
she marries the cousin.
She marries the cousin.
Okay.
Tim gets married to another girl, and they're all
friends.
Cool.
A friend group. Yeah.
Friends. They end up. She ends up making up with Tim because again he slept with her twin sister. Fast forward a few years, she a little too flirtatious with Tim online and on streams and shit. And then come to find out, they were allegedly in an affair. I'm saying allegedly because now there's a lawsuit. Because they start dating after their respective spouses file for divorce because they find out that they together.
I remember.
So the cousin that she's now her ex-husband or soon to be ex-husband, he start working out and stuff, and so now everybody views him as like a better person because he's buff now.
Yeah.
But more so specifically, they're like, oh, like he's like, I'm gonna focus on myself and I'm gonna work out and I'm gonna just date over here and just focus on me because obviously this relationship has taken a toll on me. They start dating, Tim and Brene. Then his ex-wife, well, soon to be ex-wife, they got a few kids. She files a lawsuit against them because they're in one of the Carolinas where it's legal to sue for adultery? Alienation of affection. So like if they cheated, like she was gonna sue each of them for $1 million.
Oh, so Tim's ex-wife sued Tim and Brene.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And so now they're like, no, we weren't having sex before y'all broke up. They want to try to beat this lawsuit.
They could go fuck off with them lies.
Yeah. And so now they may be engaged, but also he was telling people he was only having sex with her because he was depressed. I'm still trying to keep up.
And what following? What? How big is her following to be doing this kind of thing?
Why does
she have a following? What's her following?
Well, I don't know why she has a following. I know she had real big titties and she was trying to get a breast reduction. And then so a lot of people donated to her breast reduction and she just didn't get the surgery. So I guess she just kept the money and people were mad about that. But I don't think that's why she got the original. Also, she's like one of those. Also, she's like super Christian apparently. So then people are like,
cheating on her husband and sleeping with other people's husband.
But God, y'all can't judge me but God, okay? And apparently there's also like, I want to say like a restraining order against them.
A restraining order.
Yeah, because like the wife didn't want, Tim's wife didn't want her to come to like near the kids because she kept putting their kids online. So she was like, stop putting our kids online. And if you keep doing that,
I'm on her page.
Can't be around my kids.
Oh, is this the Tim? Okay, I'm trying to see this man. Cause
you trying to see what he looked like. So what that you doing all this for?
Like, right? What is all this about? I gotta see. I'm like,
cause she loved him when she was 14, I guess, and she never let that shit go. And she like, I was supposed to be with you. They also say the street saying that he might be the father of her twin sister's baby, but we don't know.
This the man? This what she needed so bad?
It's a light-skinned dude. And then there was a point where they start arguing on live, and that was embarrassing because again, this is in the midst of a lawsuit.
Did they say happy 1 year anniversary? She need to go to jail. She gotta go to jail. No. These people have to go to prison. You all in cake. You.
Let me send you the
Thank
videos that
you.
I
Good.
was
I glad you
watching.
comments. 1 year of adultery. May you both get the life you deserve. That's what I see. Always jam up in the
May
car.
you all get the
They say,
life you
mind you, y'all
deserve.
both still legally married.
Yes, ma'am. And they were also, she's from Baltimore, but I don't think she's lived there in a very long time. But she bring out the Baltimore accent, particularly when annoyed, and I find it very funny. She's like, I don't know who you're talking to, but hold on, let me see.
Ah,
Renee.
Lord. It's so crazy because, like, if you didn't know no better, just looking at them, they just look like a regular black couple. Like, I think they cute. What's going on? I wouldn't
Because
think that.
in many ways they are just like a normal ass couple, but it's very funny. Oh, this might have been the video you recommended because this is the one I was watching, and then they followed up when they start arguing online.
It's me and the other niggas, like, their whole comment section is just them trying to, like, fat shame her. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah, and that's the thing. It's like, no, she's a terrible person. It's not because she's fat.
right, like,
it has nothing to do with her being fat.
I'm like, that's so, like, unnecessary.
And
I'm
so, like,
that would cause me to be a worse person because the moment y'all keep trying to, like, oh, because I teach this woman husband, you keep trying to show me, oh, I fat, and I still pick a man. And so what now? I'd have been out my mouth so fast. So what that say about her?
well, that's the thing. It's like she's a pretty girl. That's not the issue. It's that
Right.
you an asshole. And so like, but then like him losing weight seems to have brought up a particular vitriol because I assume that people are being like,
where's the ex on? Let's find him.
I gave you a second video that's like following
No mind they
up.
recording them at the courthouse. No mind this big. They deep in their business. That'll make me so mad. I feel for our Lord, but I don't. No, because sleeping with people's husband is egregious.
Especially so publicly because there was clips of them like flirting it up while they were together. Yeah. Oh, I guess I should. Yeah, I should have said that. But like, there were videos of her like braiding his hair and her leg is across his leg, and she's like, "Oh, is my leg too heavy?" and stuff like that. And they were like, "Y'all were very married at this point. Y'all weren't even separated. Y'all were together." And she's like, "Oh, I was hanging around because they became friends. Her and the wife became friends." And people were like, "So you were plotting on her husband?" And she was like, "No, wasn't nobody plotting on him. If I wanted him, I would have got him." I was like, "You with him?" Like, I don't think you helping, bitch. You with him right now. If you wanted him, you did get him. Like, what do you mean?
That's why as soon as gals come around me and they be like, oh, I so love CJ. He's so nice. He's so wonderful. I want a man like CJ. Oh, you want a man like CJ? Get from fucking around me. Soon as they say that, we had a friend who was like very like that and like, oh, trying to get CJ to do things with them. I was like, as soon as they come over with CJ, you know that I ain't never having it, right? Oh, good, we know that. Like,
that's funny because like,
oh, hold on, wait, let me see the ex-husband. The ex-husband,
yeah, he lost weight. He got buff.
Way bad. See, I never seen him at the previous. All I looking at is the now. Yeah, but he looked good. And
he seemed nice. He seemed like, from what I can tell, he seemed like cool.
I'm like, also, we don't gotta feel bad for him. He looked good, and all this on display, bitches throwing pussy at him.
Yeah,
that man drowning in pussy. Don't worry about him. Don't feel for him.
I'm not.
Don't cry for him.
No, but because like in the beginning, like it was fascinating. Because there's the Tim guy. He's like, at some point they were arguing because he was mad that he wasn't more upset about the divorce. He was like, "What happened to you being all sad, bro? Now you making jokes and stuff." And he's like, "What? He can't make a joke? Like, what? Like he gotta just be sad the whole time? He can't. Right. He can't find a little humor in the foolishness that he been through."
He did hit the glow up. After I see.
And then she's accusing him of fat shaming because he lost weight. And he was like, "I have not said anything about you being fat. What are you talking about? I've just been here."
Like, what you mean?
I was just married. But you think because you lost weight, you different or whatever? And he's like, "I have not mentioned my weight loss one time. What are y'all talking about?"
Like, I gotta see what he's saying now. I'm like, oh, now I'm so invested on what was he saying?
That's why I don't try to act like I'm better than some foolishness. One thing I'm gonna do is be in somebody's business and go about my day.
This is so crazy. What I don't understand, like TikTok is so weird because the way like regular people will have these obscene amount of followers or whatever on TikTok, but like they're not like
Because there's pros and cons to it, because I think it really lets you know that you have yet to discover the messiest person yet, because they out, like, there's another couple that's like, I learned about this one because of foreign, most of the terrible people I learn about
foreign
TikTok
Fridays.
is
Foreign Fridays.
for Foreign Fridays, because like he was talking about this one couple and it reminded me when they popped up again on my timeline. I was
With
like,
the kids?
oh, yeah, with all
With the white with
yeah. So like apparently they called her the Resilient Jenkins, and it's a white woman who is still married to a man in jail.
Yep.
Who went to jail for touching on some kids and his own mama.
I didn't know that part.
Yeah.
I just went, that's exactly what I'm thinking about. I've been on her page before. Again, these are all people who
but she's still married to that man, then got with this dude, this black dude, and now they have a few kids, and they keep trying to have a bunch of kids, and they essentially,
when they're dead broke and no one to take care of.
They're dead broke. And essentially, from what I understand, and maybe I it's not like a thing where like they've been hit on hard times and like something like just the way
no, it's
that
not. I watched the whole thing on them.
It's not
want to have a bunch of children and not pay for nothing. They don't want to do nothing.
It's definitely not a we got hit by hard times thing. It is we are the hard times, and we're bringing people into it because we have a breeding kink, I think.
And got all the babies in the living room.
Have them sleeping on the floor. The mattress on the floor. They got a bed with lights and the PlayStation and the blah, 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 but you got all the kids sleeping on the living room floor. Yep. But last I heard, they might be breaking up. They was moving in and out of motels and stuff. And
I heard
was mad.
He left for a new gal, right?
Yeah. Well, the streets was saying that he was leaving out days at a time and probably, homosexual in his way to the next person's house, I'd imagine. Which makes me think like, damn, y'all can always find somebody, can't you? Because like, who is letting you in their house?
It's the way their children are gonna go no contact with them.
Oh, absolutely. God, I can only hope so.
Right.
I can only hope so.
Because this is insane. And again, they look so. Anyway, I won't say nothing. This crazy.
But like they were supposedly breaking.
Oh Lord, I'm looking at this
because there was a part where they were like, they were trying to raise money, to get on their feet and everything. Which again, there's no problem with that. But the more you look, the more you realize this is not that.
No, these are bums.
Yeah, these might be what this is. I think this is actual bumhood. This is real bum shit.
Like, I want to report our account, but it's so crazy looking like. And anytime I see what's happening over on TikTok, and I'm like, I don't need to be there. I need to. I'll hear about it.
It'll find you if it's big enough. It'll find you.
Speaking of, what's going on with Kendra the psychiatrist? Any updates? They get it.
Oh,
they come get her.
So last I saw. She's still out there. She's still doing lives and stuff. She hasn't done any updates to the story itself, because I feel as though there are no updates. My theory is that the entire thing was done to get his attention, and it hasn't resulted in what she wanted, which was for him to reach out to her. I think she's just kind of. Last I saw, she was saying how she thinks her new neighbor or somebody, or her new doorman or somebody, was interested in her. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Why would anybody be interested in her? Like, that's so crazy.
Not everybody knows. Not everybody knows the story of the other Kendra.
I'm
like I said, not a great few weeks for crazy white women named Kendra. But
okay, I think this is her account. Let's see. What's the most recent video?
From my life. My favorite movie is a tie between The Emperor's New Groove and Heathers.
Why don't ruin The Emperor's New Groove for me, crazy lady.
I don't really watch TV or stream shows ever, but I do like watching Last Week Tonight.
It's the way she looks at people. Like, I know there's going to be a twin. Like, you remember the Twin Flames cult documentary? Like, that's what she gives me. You remember the Twin Flames?
Have I not seen that one?
Kenny, did you never fucking watch the Twin Flames? Kenny, fuck everything else you're doing. I need you to watch that into the, like, this is what I need you to do.
I watch a lot of cult shit, so I'm surprised.
You gotta watch. Go on Netflix and just type in after this. You gotta first watch that one I told you about, Into the Fire, Lost Daughter, or whatever. That one you gotta see, but then you gotta watch. Just type in Twin Flames, and you gotta watch. The
Oh,
Twin
because it's on.
They have one on Prime and Netflix. They have different ones. I've seen.
Okay,
both.
I found the
one on Netflix is better than a Prime, I think, but they're both like you both get extra information. Like I would watch both, but I would go Netflix first.
documentary. Escaping Twin.
Yes.
After a few days off from TikTok and also taking time off of talking to AI and connecting with my support system.
Oh, last I saw that AI was telling her to go talk to a therapist. I do remember that, and she was kind of like,
I started sharing my story to bring light to power abuse dynamics and helping professions. And
now me getting recommended more true crime. Oh shit. There's also something called. Oh god, there's something on. Wait. Oh, okay. Number 2 on TV shows: Love Con Revenge. Victims of romance fraud share their stories and bring scammers to task in this true crime series featuring somebody that I cannot pronounce. The Tinder Swindler. Yeah.
Oh, I seen the Tinder Swindler.
I saw the Tinder Swindler.
Yeah. No, you gotta watch Twin Flames.
Because a friend also sent me a trailer for something vaguely called, like, there was I don't know if this, I wonder, is this a real documentary? Let me double check that it's actually real. Because if it is real, that's fucking crazy that is what they ended up calling this. It's a documentary about a cruise that stalled in the middle. This is not the same. Yes. Oh, that is what it's called. Okay. It's called Trainwreck Poop Cruise.
You see, I can't. What would I
with
look like
first-hand accounts? It's a story of how a cruise stalled in the middle of the ocean and the plumbing stopped and they were like sinking. Oh, Trainwreck is a series of things. Okay. So, oh, wait, there's so many. They did one on the Toronto mayor who was caught for doing crack.
What on earth? Hold on, my DoorDash here got me creme brulee.
Word.
Love creme brulee.
What's not to love?
I know, right? I think I discovered creme brulee my first year of law school, and I knew right then I struck gold.
Yeah, from first-hand accounts from passengers and crew, this documentary unclogs the chaotic events that turned a luxury cruise into a sewage-fueled nightmare.
Oh, I know they got the fuck suit out of them by everybody.
I know they did.
The lawsuit would be so crazy. Suit a brace off them. I know they had nothing but lawsuits. Could you imagine on a shit-filled cruise?
So they were telling people to pee. What I saw is they was telling people to pee in the shower, but if they had to poop, they just pooped and didn't flush, I guess. And then it ends up like
overflowing.
Well, yeah. Yeah, they got. Oh shit. Okay. I might have to watch this. Cause they. Oh, hold on. Let me send you a trailer. Cause sometimes my friends like to send me things that they know would piss me off specifically.
I was like, me trying to eat creme brulee, and they're like, "Let me take a show and send you to a shitty cruise." That's so crazy.
Not while you eating, but afterwards you can.
Right. Like, I'm like, my love. Stop what you're doing and listen up. You just watched a video on one of my channels, but the Illuminativerse is huge, and I want to tell you what everything is and how to find it. The Illuminativerse has 6 channels. On the YouTube homepage of any one of those channels, every single channel in the Illuminativerse is featured at the bottom of the page, so you can always easily find them, okay? Remember I said that. Don't say I ain't tell you how to find it. Subscribe to my main channel, Illuminati, to find my Illuminati productions, which are my long-form video essays, and also all of my backlog of content. Subscribe to my second love child, Illuminati Pop, for my weekly video essays analyzing my favorite TV and movie shows and characters. Illuminati Pop also has its own Patreon where you get all of those videos uncensored. Subscribe to my channel, Olay and Friends, for my podcast, Olay and Friends. New episodes of Olay and Friends come out every Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern. Subscribe to Olay and Chill for new episodes of my podcast, Olay and Chill, every Tuesday at 1 p.m. Eastern. And also, both Olay and Friends and Olay and Chill are both available on streaming platforms like Spotify. Subscribe to Illuminati Bites if you want my takes, but you don't have have an hour to spend. Subscribe to Allure Politics for my political analysis and my State of the Union type addresses on my show O Squared. And last but not least, subscribe to my Substack Allure for my written work.